न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः।
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Dhyayamo Dhavalavakunthanavatim Tejomayam Nashtikim Nigdhapangavilokinim Dagavatim Mandaspita Srimukhim Valsalyamritavarshinim Samaduram Sankirtanalapinim Shamam Gimatastikta Suktim Amritanandamayi Om. Kum Gurubhyo Namaha Om. Gam Ganapati Namaha. My infinite prostrations at the lotus feet of my Sadguru, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, Universal Teacher, Universal Mother. I am my humble pranams to all of most beloved children listening to this talk. The topic continues to be the same. It is mainly about Grihasthasrama. Before Grihasthasrama, if one has the good opportunity, like in the olden days, the youngsters, they enter the Grihastha Ashrama or married life through the Brahmacharya Ashrama. So if you enter the Grihastha Ashrama through the Brahmacharya Ashrama, you will have the right vision and the understanding, the strength to face the challenges of life. You see, when we travel on the road, we see the signboards. We see different kinds of signboards. While we travel on the road or in trains, we see start early, drive slowly, reach safely. One of the signboards we see on the side of the roads: start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. That means when you say start early, it means in the life a good preparation. This is also a human being life is also a travel. So start early means a very good preparation how to face human life. That is what is Brahmacharya. And drive slowly means planning well is what you call as drive slowly. If you prepare well, plan well, reach safely, we reach the human goal of life safely, happily. So everybody wants a happy life. So what do you mean by life? If you ask somebody, if we ask you what is life, how do you explain? Life means existence. You will say a person's life means existence. So a stone is existing. Can you call that life? No, it is not life. It is existing, but it's not life. Therefore, life means it is not just existence. Then you will say life means existence plus action. It's not a dead body. Existence plus action. So a machine does a lot of activity. So can you call that life? Existence plus action, can you call that life? Still it's not life. Therefore, existence plus action plus something. And what is that? Existence plus actions plus consciousness, awareness. Awareness of what I am doing, that is what we call as when we conscious part is there, that is what we make as call as life. And therefore, this is what we have to learn. So life is a series of experiences. So there are two fields of inquiry. Scientists, what they do is, the scientists, they say that if we want a lot of things to enjoy, we want a beautiful world, a comfortable world. Therefore, they try to improve the objects around us. And they say if the objects around us are improved, we become happy. So is that so? So life is the object, the I enjoying the objects. So if my experiences are happy, I call it a happy life. If my experiences are sorrowful, I say it's a sad life. So life, if the scientists say that if you improve the world around us, then we can enjoy the objects, and then we can have a happy life. But the rishis are also scientists working in a different field. The rishis started inquiring who is the person who enjoys the objects. Suppose sumptuous meal, lot of variety of tasty dishes is right in front of me, and I am suffering from loose motion. Can I eat them? Therefore, merely improving the world cannot make me happy. I have to improve along with improving the world. If I have to improve myself, if I improve myself, then and then only I can say that I have a happy life. So that's what we have to understand. So start early. The start early means prepare well, drive slowly, understanding very well, then you reach the goal of human life. Now I will tell you a story. It's only a symbolic story. In a certain kingdom, there was a peculiar way of choosing the king. The king usually, when the king dies, the king's son will be the king. Finally, when that king dies, it's from father to son to son to son, unless somebody conquers and they takes over. But here in this kingdom, what happens is anybody can become the king. They will announce now the king is no more. Anybody can become the king. But the problem is that person will be a king for 7 years only. After the 7 years, what will happen is that same king will be tied with the ropes. His hands and his feet will be tied. He will be put in a boat. He will be taken across the river, and he will be thrown into the forest where the wild animals will eat him. So this is what used to happen. Every year, the king, every 7 years, the king used to change. The king once he becomes a king, he rules for 7 years. When the 7 years is older, he is caught. The hands and feet are tied. He is put in a boat, taken across the river, and thrown into the jungle where the wild animals will eat him. So gradually, nobody wanted to become the king, because what is the use? 7 years of happy life and then certain death. So finally, nobody wanted to become the king. But one day, a young man came and said, "Yes, I am ready. I will become the king." So that young man was made the king. And as usual, so he ruled the kingdom for 7 years. He very wisely ruled the king. And at the end of the 7th year, as usual, his hands were tied, his legs were tied. He was put in the boat, and they were traveling across the river. This king, he was laughing and talking, cracking jokes and laughing. The soldiers told him, "Why are you laughing? The moment you reach the other shore, you will be thrown into the jungle, and wild animals will eat you. Then why are you laughing?" So the young man replied, "You see, unlike the other kings who enjoyed for 7 years and then they were thrown into the jungle, in these 7 years I never enjoyed anything. Secretly, I sent men to the other shore. I cut down a lot of trees. Those soldiers, they constructed a big palace and everything. I have already built a kingdom on the other shore. Therefore, when you throw me on the other shore, you see what happens." So as the king said, when they reached the other shore, and when he was when he was set on the other shore, they were already soldiers to receive him. and then they took him to the palace, and he continued to live a very, very happy life. So this is the a symbolic story. It doesn't happen usually. So that's 7 years. Unlike the 7 years, this young man, this king, he prepared himself so that if after 7 years he could continue to be a king. So first 7 years he never enjoyed anything. He was working, planning, and then for 7 years, without enjoying or doing anything, he was concentrating on the creating another kingdom on the other shore. And then he went and he continued to become a king. The first 7 years he didn't enjoy, but after 7 years he could enjoy throughout his life. So in the same way, this is what we call as brahmacharya ashrama. Unfortunately, our youngsters, when they are young, they want to enjoy. They say, I have the freedom to enjoy whatever I like. So they unfortunately they are caught up in enjoyment. But and unfortunately, what happens? The sense organ, the eyes, ears, touch, everything become weak. And then by 30, 35, they become weak. So this is what happened to our youngsters. Therefore, brahmacharya ashrama is preparation, how to prepare the life. In the first few years, we have intelligence and strength. So we prepare how to face our long life. So we may have another, after 25 years, when we enter the world, we maybe have another 50, 60 or 70 years even. Oh God, you know that. Therefore, this is why we say that during when we are youngsters, let us not waste our energy, very precious energy, in enjoying too much and weakening our sense organs. This is what we say. And our rishis, they have done a lot of research, and they have discovered. You see, take any object of enjoyment in this world. Take any object in this world, any object of enjoyment in this world, it has 3 defects. Every object has 3 defects. The first defect is, it says, the dukkha mishrita sukham. The object has, certainly it can give you happiness and pleasure, but that pleasure and happiness is dukkha mishrita sukham. It is happiness mixed with pain. Because if you take, for example, you take a sweet. So how many sweets can you take? You take 1 sweet, second sweet, 2 sweets are okay. Third sweet is little, the taste becomes less. You can take about 2 or 3 sweets. So then if you take too much, it can give you stomach pain, a stomach upset. Therefore, it is pleasure. It will give you pleasure, but it will also give you pain also in the end. Dukkha mishrita sukham. It is pleasure mixed with pain. This is the defect of any object. You cannot take too much. First thing. And second defect is, it say adhika trishna hetukatvam. Adhika trishna hetukatvam. Hetukatvam means one is causes. What does it cause? Adhika trishna. It increases the desires. Best example is what our youngsters take now, the liquor or some kind of this powder, this drugs, etc. The adhika trishna hetukatvam. It causes more and more desires. So in the first day, the person may take only a small quantity, but second day, small quantity is not enough. He again had the desire. Yesterday at 7 p.m. he had some liquor. So today suddenly he remembers, and therefore he goes. So this is called adhika trishna. Adhika trishna means more desire. It creates more and more desires to enjoy. And therefore, he goes on. The quantity is increasing. First day is this much is enough. Second day, this much. Third day, you can see the quantity increases, and when the quantity increases, what happens? The health is completely, slowly the health decreases. So this is called adhika trishna hetukatvam. Every object they can cause, they cause more and more desires. The more you enjoy, the more you want. This much I enjoy today, I said, okay, enough. But next day, again, same time, that memory comes, again you go. So you become an addict, and finally, the health is completely gone, and sometimes, many often, the person loses his life also. So first one is dukkha mishrita sukham. Every object of pleasure, it is mixed with pain. It gives you pain also. Second is the object has the nature of the increasing your desire. I want more and more and more. Nobody will say I have enough. Now from tomorrow onward I will not take. Nobody will say that. Today it is enough, I am full. Tomorrow again the same time you will go on increasing. And finally what is the ultimate result? Bandhagatvam. Bandhagatvam means bondage. I am trapped. I am bound. So that is a very strong rope which binds me. I lose all my freedom. If I don't get that object at that particular time, that person becomes extremely restless. He starts. We have seen how these youngsters react when they don't get that thing at the proper time. They almost go mad, crazy. So bandhakatvam, it creates bondage. What we want, ultimately what we really want is the most important things. What we want is happiness, but we want independent happiness. We don't want to depend on anything for happiness. So this is what we call as the brahmacharya ashram preparation for youngsters. Too much of enjoyment will weaken the sense organs and mind. So when by 30 or by 40, our body becomes weak, mind also becomes weak. So we become a wreck, nervous wreck. So let us avoid that. When we come to Sadguru like Amma, she trains us to focus on ourselves, to do what is good and healthy for our body and mind. Let us have a healthy body and mind so that we can serve others. When we serve others, we can see that true happiness comes to us. When we serve others, that service, that is what we call it, the real happiness comes in serving others. So let us pray to Amma to give us proper vision and proper understanding and a healthy body also, to work, to serve the world, and finally to reach the goal of human life, which is Amma's divine feet. Om Amritageetananda. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.
Namah Shivaya. I am Dr. Shyamasundharan, Assistant Professor working here in Amra's Ayurveda College in Puri. I am extremely grateful and deeply honored to be speaking in this platform today. Few weeks ago, my sister Dr. Shanti had spoken on this platform, and today I am here to speak on a topic which is very close to all of our hearts. That is the sacred relationship between husband and wife. Let me begin with a simple yet profound story. Once there was a devotee who invited a sannyasi to his home to bless his newly wed daughter and son-in-law. The sannyasi agreed to come, but on a condition. He said there need to be prepared 3 dishes, and the devotee agreed, and 3 dishes were prepared. The sannyasi offered the couple a sweet dish at first. The couple enjoyed it very happily, and then the sannyasi gave a second dish which was bitter. It was a boiled bitter gourd, and the couple ate it, but with slight hesitancy, but respectfully, because it was given by a sannyasi. Again, the third dish was served to them, which was again sweet, which the couple ate again very happily. The sannyasi then explained, yes, this is how life is. It is a mixture of both sweetness and bitterness. The sweetness is when the couple are first married and they enjoy all the sweet moments. The bitter card represents the challenges and shortcomings that may arise in the couple's relationship. And these are challenges that all couples face. These experiences are faced with courage. They give us strength to lead a very happy life thereafter. And there comes a lot of benefits, that is, learnings in life, just like the bitter gourd, which has or which is packed with a lot of health benefits. The final sweet dish signifies that after enduring through all the trials together, even sweeter days follow. This simple meal gives a very profound lesson to all the newlyweds and gives a direction to how a couple should lead life. Now, let me share a second story from Ramayana. Once, when Lord Rama and Sita were in exile, they happened to visit Maharshi Atri and his wife Anusuya, who were living in the forest. While Maharshi Atri gave guidance to Lord Rama, Anusuya Devi spoke to Sita Devi, who is known for her chastity and wisdom. Anusuya Devi said, in all human relationships, there are three levels of love. The first one, where the woman takes care of her husband simply because he gives her protection. This is the lowest level of love. The second step is a bit higher, which is because she loves him because he is virtuous, protects her, and is noble. The third and the highest level is the expression like, I love him, therefore I have duty towards him. This is the expression that comes when you are in the third stage of love in your relationship. And this is what is expected of a very good relationship. The third form, Anusuya Devi said, is without any expectations. It simply flows. And that is why she said is the highest form of love. Such a love is not transactional, but a path of devotion. And once a person approaches people, relationships, be it a husband-wife relationship, be it a mother-father relationship, be it the relationship to the community, to the nation, ultimately all this leads to a spiritual growth. Ansuya Devi beautifully declares that this type of love that she expresses to her husband is not just a social responsibility, but it is equivalent to serving the divine. These stories remind us that never are the relationships perfect, but the relationships can be sacred if we take them as opportunities by nurturing it with compassion, with love, then this relationship can transform us and make us a better human being. Namah Shivaya.
न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वम् न गुरोरधिकं तपः